Hey, lightworkers and empaths, do you feel anxious due to the fear of being abandoned by your loved ones, thinking that you will be left alone to live alone and die alone when you're old and helpless, right? So if this is a fear that is present in your life, then I'm going to share with you a way by which you can come out of this fear, because this fear comes to show us something very essential, and once we see it and once we do something about it, then this fear need not come again. I'm going to share with you what is that one thing that this fear comes to show us, which if we recognize, we can come out of this fear, right? Now, recently I did a research on causes of anxiety in lightworkers and empaths, and this fear of abandonment was trying to take the first position. As I introspected within myself, I recognized that I also have that same fear within me, that even I sometimes feel that maybe I'll be abandoned, that maybe I'll be left alone in my life, that I'll have to live alone and die alone when I'm old and helpless, right? And this fear I noticed was present in people who are close to me, in my family members too. They sometimes express that same fear to me in different ways. And this is a very deep-rooted fear. So if you have this fear, don't feel alone, because this fear is not just yours, it's there for many of us, if not for all of us, right? And that's what I think. Now, when this fear comes up, this fear affects our root chakra. Our root chakra is essentially about survival, and this fear is related to survival. We feel that if we are left alone, we are helpless and we will not be able to take care of ourselves, and that is why we start to feel a lot of anxiety, and our body makes us brings up a lot of stress, brings up a lot of negative emotions, negative thoughts that flood our mind, and it drops our vibration. Can you relate? It's all because this fear is related to our survival, the survival instincts. And that is why this fear, if not understood and recognized and healed, it can create a lot of problems. That is, we will notice that we are not able to live a happy and fulfilled life, because this anxiety, this fear stays in the back burner, bringing our vibration down all the time, right? Now, if this fear is not understood and healed properly, what happens is we tend to feel that we are not valued. We tend to feel that we are undervalued by people. We tend to feel that we are not needed by people. We have trust issues with other people. And we sometimes encourage dysfunctional relationships due to this fear not being healed, because we constantly have this sort of neediness going on because of the fear that we will be left alone, right? And that is why it is so important that we recognize and heal this fear, because it can be, and that is what I'm going to share with you, right? Now, before I move forward, I want to let you know that I have a Facebook group, a group for lightworkers, empaths, and those of you who are on the spiritual ascension journey, where I have been doing a lot of research. I've been doing group discussions, I've been doing polls, I released short expanded videos, and I'm very active in my group. And in this group, I did a research on anxiety, and the members responded, and that is why I am talking about this topic today. So if you want to stay connected with me, then join the group. It's a group for lightworkers, empaths, and those of you who are in the spiritual ascension journey. And in the group, you will get the chance to stay personally connected with me. I'm very active in the group. I'm doing a lot of things in the group, and I will be able to address your challenges directly in the group. So if you want to stay connected with me, the group is the place to be. Join the group. Link will be in the description, and you have to answer the 3-member joining questions to be considered for joining the group, right? So now moving on, as I mentioned, that this fear is a very deep-rooted fear, the fear of abandonment, because it is literally connected with our survival mechanism, our survival instinct, right? And that is why the body generates so much anxiety. The core of this fear, the fear of abandonment, is helplessness, right? It's a feeling that one feels when they feel that there's nothing we can do to ensure that will ensure us that we will not be left alone on our own, right? And that is the feeling of helplessness. And that is at the core of this fear. Now, when I introspected, because I recognize this fear I have also, right? As I introspected, I discovered that this fear is clearly expressed in one statement, and I'm going to give you that statement. And that statement is, we fear that there might come a time where we will have needs from other people, but they might not have any need for us. And that is why we will be left abandoned, right? And that is the core of this fear. That is the core statement from which this fear is coming from. The feeling that we will have need for people, but people will not have need from us, and that is why we will be abandoned, right? If you can feel this statement within you, you know that that is what's going on. That is what is actually triggering this fear, right? Now, within this statement is the source of the fear and is also the way out of the fear. And that is what I'm going to share with you. The fear is trying to show us something which is intrinsically wrong with this situation that this statement describes, that a place where we have needs from other people, but people have no need for us. There is something intrinsically wrong being in this situation. And that is why the body creates so much fear, so much anxiety to signal us that this situation should not happen. Because there is something very, very intrinsically wrong with the situation. So what is that wrong thing going on? And that is our core function, right? Our core function as soul is to be in service to others. And I'm going to talk in deep about that, so don't worry. Our core function, when we stop, that is to be in service to others, we lose alignment with the very structure of the universe, and we stop growing and we stop evolving as soul. We literally stop doing that one thing that we came here for. And that is what the fear is trying to show us. It is trying to tell us that at all costs, this situation should not arrive where we have stopped being of service to others, because that is when we will stop growing and evolving, right? And that is why the fear comes up so strongly. So what happens when we stop being in service to others, right? So let me give you an example. Take the example of a hammer, right? Or you can take an example for any tool for that matter. Now, a hammer is built to hammer things. That is its purpose. Now, when do you think a hammer will be abandoned by its owner or by anybody? That is when the hammer is not serving its purpose well or not doing it at all. That is when it will be abandoned. That's just common sense, right? So that is exactly how it works. That is, whenever we abandon our purpose, we start experiencing abandonment from others. It's because in abandoning our purpose, we essentially have abandoned ourselves. It's because life is like a school. In this school, the soul comes to learn and grow and evolve and up-level, right? And all of it is done in a co-creating kind of way where we serve others and they get a chance to serve us. And that is how it works. See, in a school, this is exactly how it works. So teachers are there, students are there, they're all co-creating together for each other's growth, right? Now, what happens if a student decides that I don't care about my growth anymore. What is going to happen if a student decides that I'm not going to learn? The school will have to abandon that student because they have come in misalignment with the whole structure and purpose of the school, right? And that is what happens. Abandonment is only possible when we have abandoned our soul's purpose, that is to be in service to others, right? Now, essentially, abandonment is not possible. It's because as souls, we are always connected. Souls are just reflections of that one, the one which is the universal soul. We are just reflection, and we are all one and the same. So essentially, abandonment is just an illusion. It is not technically possible. But the fear of abandonment that comes up, that is trying to let us know that we are abandoning our purpose, right? And in doing so, we are abandoning our own growth and our very core function that we have come here to do, right? And that is why this fear comes up. The fear of abandonment is the fear of abandoning our purpose, right? I hope it's connecting. Now, what we are really seeking is actually a meaningful life, a life where we will find fulfillment and we will be supported till our dying breath. And that is what we are really seeking, right? Now, you have probably heard or seen people who lived happily alone, or maybe they had very few people around them, right? And they were still fulfilled and they were happy and they had a meaningful life. But you have probably heard of those people who were always surrounded by lots of people around them and they were never left alone, but they felt terribly, terribly alone. So what is the difference here, right? It's definitely not the external presence of the people who were around them. But I think the difference, it's not about how many people is around you. That has nothing to do with the loneliness that we feel. The loneliness that we feel is only comes from when we have abandoned our purpose, right? Because when we abandon our purpose, we stop being in service to people who are around us, and that is when we start feeling lonely. It has nothing to do with people, right? So what really matters is that whether we are being in service to others or not. Now, life wants us to be in this way, where we are constantly giving and receiving unconditional love and support to each other for the growth of us and the entire collective, right? Now, when we seek to give the highest value to others, that is when life connects us with those people who are ready to receive the value from us. So life will always connect us with the right connections as long as we are seeking to give our highest value to others. That is, to be in service to others, right? Now, if you have something to give to others, there will always be someone who will be there to receive, and you will always have people around you as long as you have something to give to people, because you are endless. You are truly endless. As a soul, you will never lack something valuable to give to other people. And in that sense, you can truly never be abandoned as long as you're serving your purpose, that is to be in service to others, right? Now, we can be in service to others at any stage of our life. So it does not really depend on what we are capable of doing, you know? But what matters is that what we are doing is representing unconditional love and support or not. That is what matters. So as long as what you are doing is bringing unconditional love and support to somebody else, you are being in service to others. And in that sense, you can be in service to others at any stage of your life, right? Now, being in service to others is not same as control, because that is neediness. Sometimes it might feel like that just to have people around you, you might have to control people, but control is the opposite of unconditional love and support, because control does not lead to growth, and the fear still remains when we are trying to control people around us, right? Now, there is a sure shot way to avoid this pitfall, to avoid this pitfall of falling into this situation where you're trying to control other people, right? And that is to dedicate your service to the one, to life, to the collective, which are all in the same. It's because when you dedicate your service to others as service to the one, to the life, to the collective, to the universal soul, to the wholeness of it all, what happens is you come out of that neediness of trying to control people. That does not happen, because you do things for others knowing that you are not doing not doing this for just them, but you are actually doing it for the entire collective, for the growth of the entire collective. And in that sense, you do not create any effect of control. You do not create a situation where you try to make feel indebted to you because you don't need to, right? And in that way, you grow and you bring the highest value to the collective for it to grow too. Now, I would like to take this opportunity right now to share with you something that I can give to you. So if you have been following me for some time, if the things that I've been giving to you resonates with you strongly, and if you want to work with me, then I am a life coach. I have a 6-week program, 6-week one-on-one coaching program where you can work with me privately. And in that program, I will help you overcome your challenges with lack of self-worth, lack of confidence, lack of clarity of purpose. If these challenges are present in your life, and if these challenges are stopping you from moving towards your goals, moving towards your purpose, living authentically and living your best life, then this 6-week program is built for you. So if you are an empath, if you are a light worker, if you're somebody who is on the spiritual ascension journey, and if you resonate with the elements of this program, and if you want to work with me, then send me a mail. I'll have my mail ID at the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube, or send me a direct message if you're watching this on Facebook. I will get in touch with you. I will ask you some questions. And if I feel that you are a right fit for the 6-week program, then we will have a discovery call and we will get started. So get in touch with me if you want to get started working with me directly, right? Now, I want to share with you a simple exercise that will bring clarity to you about your own personal mission, right? So the essential mission of all soul is to be in service to others, right? But we also have our unique DNA, unique soul blueprint, and that's why we also have our own unique purpose, right? And this exercise is going to help you uncover your own purpose. With the clarity with your own purpose, you will always know how to be in service to others at all points of your life. Because if you just do that, you will ensure that you will not experience that fear of abandonment anymore, because you will not be abandoning your purpose, right? So let's get started with the exercise. Now, it's a very simple exercise. All you have to do is ask yourself the question, which is what I call the personal mission statement question, and that is, in doing what and in giving what to others do I receive the highest fulfillment, right? In doing what and in giving what to others do I receive the highest fulfillment? Now, if you do not have an immediate clear answer for this, then do not worry, because I will give you 3 steps that will help you arrive at this answer, right? Now, the first step is something like this. Remember the moments. Go back to your childhood. Go back to all the memories that is in your past, and remember those moments where you felt most alive, where you felt a strong sense of your calling, where you were really, really resonating and you felt like you got it. This is why you came here for, and you felt most aligned, right? Try to go back to your memories and try to see which were those moments that made you feel like this. Take some time and go back and see those memories. Which were they, right? Now, this is the step 2. Once you have done this, once you have gone back in your memories and you have a few recollections of those events where you felt this way, where you felt alive, you felt your calling and you were resonating really, really strongly. Now, this is step 2. That is, write those moments down, right? At least 5 or 10 of them in a piece of paper. Explain clearly what you were doing, what you were feeling during those moments, and how did it feel like? What calling did you feel in those moments? Write all of it down. All that you think is valuable about that moment, bring it down into the piece of paper, right? Now, once you have done this, move on to step 3. And step 3 is find the common elements amongst them, right? So within the list of things which you have described, where you felt your calling, where you were really, really alive and you were resonating, try to see if there are different things. What is the common element? What are the common elements among them, right? So the common element could be something that you are doing, right? So I remember in my memories, the most resonant moments were when I was playing music, right? So music is a big part of my purpose. So music comes up. So what is that for you? Was that an activity that you were performing? Was that the common thing? Write it down. That's step 3. Or were it different things, but the value that you were giving through the thing that you were doing to others or to life as a whole, that was common, right? So maybe you were doing something that was impacting the lives of other people. So if that was the common thing, maybe write that down. Anything that you find that was common, just write it down. And do not overthink. Do not overthink that you are doing it right or not. If it feels right, it is right. Just do it. Okay, so that's the step 3. Now, once you have done the step 3, now you have a little more clarity that in doing what and in giving what, you felt most alive. You felt most resonant and you received the highest fulfillment, right? Now, this is what I want you to do now. Go back to the original question, the original personal mission statement question. That is, in doing what and in giving what to others do I receive the highest fulfillment? And then try to see that if there's an answer that is coming deep within from you, and then write it down, right? What is that thing in doing what and in giving what you feel that you receive the highest fulfillment? Now, do not overthink it. You do not think that you have to get it right one time and this will be like written in stone. There's nothing like that. The personal mission statement keeps refining with time as we grow, and it keeps evolving too. So you do not have to get it perfect, because there's no such thing, right? And if you have written it down and if it makes you feel this way, that yes, that's exactly who I am, then you have done it right. And that's all you need to know. Now I'm going to share a little bit about my own personal mission statement so that you just have a little bit of idea how it might look like. And yours might look entirely different or maybe similar to it. So do not think that, it can't be similar or can't be too dissimilar. It is completely and uniquely your own, right? So my personal mission statement is something like this. others live their best life, a life filled with passion, purpose, growth, harmony, love, and transcendence. If I do that for myself, and if I am able to do this for others, that is when I feel most fulfilled, right? So that is my personal mission statement. Now, having this clarity of your mission statement will have you the clarity how to be in service to others, right? And whenever you feel this fear of abandonment, the moment you remember that, this is my mission, you will know what is your purpose. And once you know your purpose, you will be able to bring that value to others and to life as a whole, right? And this is like something really interesting that happens when you start living your purpose. That is, you not only receive the companionship of the best people around you all the time, because you are always sharing the highest value. So the best people come drawn towards you because you are always emitting the light, right? But another amazing thing happens is that you receive the companionship of the universe, of life as a whole, and you never feel alone because you always have the companionship of the universe by your side. How amazing that can be, to know that you are always supported by the universe, and the universe will support always as long as we are living our purpose, as long as we are doing our part. The universe will do its part too. So that takes care of the fear of abandonment in totality, because even if you feel for some reason you will not have people around you, the deep-seated desire for support will always be given to you by life itself, the universe itself, right? So next time you find yourself experiencing the anxiety due to the fear of being abandoned, this is what I want you to do. Try flipping that question. The question that comes up, like, will people abandon me? Try flipping that question to, will I abandon my purpose, right? Because as long as you don't abandon your purpose, the universe will not abandon you. It cannot happen. It cannot happen, right? So that is how you overcome this fear of abandonment, right? Now, another thing that comes up in the self-growth journey is self-doubt. Even when we are living by our purpose, when we have clarity of our purpose and we know that we want to bring the highest value to other people, right, to life itself, self-doubt can come up in our journey. And that self-doubt comes from many, many limiting beliefs that we have. So I'm going to share at the end of the video how you can come out of your self-doubt using a simple 9-step method, right? Now, before I move on to that thing, I just want to let you know that if you have not already joined my Facebook group, join the group, because in the group, I am doing a ton of activities and I'm very present and active in the groups. If you want to stay personally connected with me, if you want your challenges to be directly addressed by me, then join the group, because in the group, I am personally helping the members with their challenges, right? So join the group, link will be in the description, and you have to answer the 3-member joining questions to be considered for joining the group. And it's a group for lightworkers and empaths only. And if you want to work with me, if you want to know about my 6-week program, and if you want to come out of your challenges with low self-worth, lack of confidence, lack of clarity of purpose, and want to live authentically, live your best life, do your mission, move towards your goals, then send me an inquiry, send me a mail if you are watching this on YouTube, and send me a DM if you're watching this on Facebook, and I will get connected with you, right? Now, as promised, as I mentioned, that there is a way to come out of self-doubts and limiting beliefs using a simple method. And I have developed this method, which I will share with you. Using this 9-step method, which I call the limiting belief dissolution method, you can dissolve your limiting belief, any of your limiting belief that is the cause of self-doubt for you, within 30 minutes, right? So watch the video. I have created a full-length video on how to dissolve your limiting beliefs, where I've broken down the entire 9 steps in detail. And I have given an example of my own limiting beliefs and how that same system can help dissolve that limiting belief and help you receive the wisdom and self-knowledge that every limiting belief is trying to show us, that is going to help us in our self-growth journey. So watch the full-length video. It will appear in your screen right now. Watch the video, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.